SwoleBenji here. So I'm going to talk to you today about gathering, okay? Because I have been doing a lot of gatherings since I'm not resubbing until the end of June, maybe. But the point is that I see so many people out there gathering, and they're doing it wrong. And I know I've made a "you're doing it wrong" video before, but I wanted to give you gathering tips. This video is gathering tips. And I'm going to make it quick and just precise, and let's just get right into it, okay? The very first thing is, if you're going to gather, wear gathering gear. I mean, I don't know how many people that I run across in the world that don't wear any gathering gear at all. They wear combat or PvP gear, and I'm in the yellow zones. Y'all know that. Everyone knows that. I gather in the yellow zones. I don't leave the yellow zones. Anyway, so like I'm in the yellow zones or sometimes even the blue zones because I'm leveling other gathering up because I'm bored. And I see all these people, you know, with tier 3, tier 4, tier 7, tier 8 gear. They're gathering. That's all they're doing. They're just running around on an ox or a boar or a bear even, and they're gathering. And they have no gathering gear on at all. So let me show you what gathering gear looks like. And real quick, gathering gear. You want to wear all of the same gathering gear, and you only want to focus on one. I have ran the math and done so many tests and run so many numbers, and if you try to gather multiple resources, if you're not high spec or max spec, you're wasting your time, okay? So real quick, if I was to chop down a tree without gathering gear, I would get 6 logs. At tier 8 with tier 8 gear, if I chop down a tree with gathering gear on, a pork pie, premium active, I get 24 logs, okay? 6 logs or 24. That's 4 times as many logs, and all you gotta do is put on a shirt and a hat. Like, seriously here. I'm wearing the courier cap, I'm wearing the courier garb, I'm wearing the courier work boots. These items aren't meant for you to... Like, these items, their purpose is to help you gather more resources. They also help you escape in the dangerous zones, but if you click on your, like, chest piece and you see this little circle down here, quarrying skills. This is just tier 5, but you gain 1% every 30 seconds up to 10, so that's a 10% increase. That means every 1 stone I gather, I gain 10% of that. So if I gathered 10 stone with just this thing on, I would have 11 stone at the end. Whereas someone without gathering gear would only have 10. And that, it just ramps up because you also have the boots and you have the helmet. And here's another thing that I didn't know as a newbie, alright? It pertains to gathering gear, it's still tip number 1. And that is, if you can afford it and you're not risking it in the yellow zones, because you can't lose your gear in yellow zones, use an Avalonian tool. I know these are expensive. This is a tier 5 stone hammer. It costs 425,000. That's a lot of silver for a new player. But look at this. Just tier 5. This thing increases 12.5%. So that stacks with everything. I have a tier 8 axe in here. Look how high this gets. 20%. For every 5 trees I gather, I get a tree free. That's how much just one item gives. And then if you're curious about tier 8, here's a tier 8 chest piece. 3.5 times 10, that's 35%. So we have 35, 55, and then we have the boots and the helmet, which would be another 35. So that's 90% increased. So almost every 1 log I get another one free. And when you have higher specs, that also adds to it. So yeah, that's tip number 1. And I have alerts on. I'm sorry. Let me stop that. Whoops. Someone just subscribed. So there you go. All right, let me hit you up with tip number 2, and that is to use journals. This is such a simple one. Okay, I'll admit, when I was a brand new character, and the first thing I did was gather. I just became a career gatherer. I was a lumberjack. And for the longest time, for months of playing this game, I didn't know about journals. So let me tell you about journals. Okay, so here I have a tier 4 Stonecutter's journal. This one is full, all right? This one is completely full. You can... When you have an island, you can buy them off your island, or you can buy empty journals from the market, which are usually cheaper than your island. But buying an empty journal and then filling it with whatever gathering skill you're doing will take some time. But when you do, even if you don't have an island, you just made money. Like, this sells for 5,333. If I have stonecutters on an island, which I have separate videos about that, I'm not going to go into how that works. I can turn in this journal and essentially get more value, about 3% more than 5,000 here. But the journals themselves only cost 1 to 2,000, and you can sell it back for 5,000. So it's free silver while you gather. You're already out there gathering. You're already out there doing your thing. Just fill the journals. But also, another one. The Generalist Trophy journals also fill up as you gather. Now, this one is a little different, okay? These are actually cheaper full than empty. So you should only really use these when you have islands so you can level your laborers, and I have videos all about that. But the point is, you need to be using journals, and there's so many people. Like, I will follow people around and gather with them, and I never ever see a pop-up that their journals are being filled. And back before I was muted, or on my alts that aren't muted, because why would I play on a muted character, right? I talk to other people, and the ones that actually end up speaking English, well, they don't even know what journals are. Like, I'll look at their stats, and they'll have, low fame, and I'm like, hey, man, you using journals? And they're like, what? What's that? Huh? So, guys, you need to be using journals if you're gathering. Otherwise, you're missing out. You're missing out on free, it's literally free money. Tip number 3 is you need to be faction flagged, and let me tell you why, okay? So, when you're out 3 zones away, it does say it increases your loot by 15%. However, in my testing, I have noticed this does not apply to gathering, or it's not something that I've noticed. My gathering yield is always about the same when I'm faction flagged or not, but that's not why we faction flag. Every time you harvest a resource, you get faction warfare points. And every 3,000 of these, you can buy a heart, which is worth 50,000 silver currently in the market. It could be worth less or more later on. I don't know how much it will be worth in the future. But right now, they are worth 50,000 each. So just today, I did maybe 1 hour of gathering, and while I was gathering in the yellow zones, completely safe, if you die in faction PvP in a yellow zone now, in the current time, you do not drop your stuff, you do not lose your gear. So, as I'm sitting there gathering, just banging away at stone rocks, for an hour, Bridgewatch came in and wanted to capture the zone, and I'm flagged up for Bridgewatch. So I stopped what I was doing because I was literally 5 seconds away from the outpost. I stood on the little outpost circle, got the capture points, and then I got the contributed to the war effort points. And in 1 hour of gathering in a tier 4 zone, this is a tier 4 zone, I managed to get 2,900 points, so almost 3,000. You get to keep them. They don't go away or anything. So it's basically free money. It's another way to get free money while you gather. And I see so many people gathering that do not faction flag, and I'm just like, what the heck are you doing, bro? You are missing out on free money. This is literally free money. All right? And let me tell you right now, if I wear my tier 8 set and I go gather if I wear my tier 8 set and I go to a tier 5 zone, I can get 5,000 points in 1 hour without participating in any outpost captures at all. It's easy for me to get 5,000 in tier 8. In tier 5, you're in a tier 4 zone. I'm just not gonna get points efficiently. But whenever, the push to shove happens in the faction warfare and you're right there because you're already outside of town, you might as well collect the points. They're right there. They're literally begging to be collected. So faction flag up, and if you were to gather all dang day, that's just more faction points for you. Like, I only did 1 hour and got 2,900. Imagine if I did 10 hours, it'd be 29,000. Round that up to 30,000. That's That's a bunch of money, okay? I'm not doing the math right now. I don't care enough to do the math. You do the math. Everyone says my math is wrong on Reddit anyway. The next one is to use the correct amount when you gather. I see this all the time. There are people out there gathering on horses. Okay, a horse ain't bad. Horses, I have a horse here. It lets you carry 53 kilograms of weight. All right. Also, I'm not going to put this in the screen, but you should also wear a bag, the best one you can wear. This tier 8 flat bag gives me 206 carry weight. I have an 8.3 satchel, which would increase my carry weight by 356. However, look at my mount's carry weight here. This is a Spectral Direborn. This is what I recommend that you use when you can afford it. These things are 2 million. Coming up in the next month or two, is the dire boar mount. So you can get this by just being having premium. Anyway, this thing increases your load by 1,203. Now, this does not require you to be near the mount. Like, if this mount despawns, you still get that carry weight. You don't have to have it summoned. When you use an ox, let me show you an ox real quick. The ox, it increases your load by 1,165, which, yes, that's a lot for a tier 4 ox. It only costs 12,000. Hello, Bandit Assault. The max load, however, does not exist when you are dismounted and your mount goes poof. So don't use an ox. If you're a newbie, yes, use an ox. Absolutely use an ox. Don't let that sucker despawn. Don't walk away from it. But if once you're advanced, use a Spectral Direboar in tier 5s because you can go invisible and lose aggro on a mob, which will aggro onto another gatherer, which will stun him from... It will interrupt his channeling and allow you to steal the node. So don't use these crazy amounts like this Basilisk gives me 300. Well, the boar gives me 1,200. I know the Basilisk is cool. You know, that's why I bought it. The bear, look at the bear. It's like an ox. It gives you 2,200 carry weight. So if you want to do some really, really long haul and stuff, you could use the bear if you want, okay? But the Spectral Direboar is the best one. Like, by the time I break my Avalonian weapon, then, like, I'm already near my carry weight max anyway. But more about that. Next up is to gather near a zone chest. I don't know exactly what these suckers are called, but let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? So if you go to the map here and you go to Flat River Trough, you see this big chest here. It says Storage Post. I guess that's the official name, Storage Post. I'm not changing the text on the screen. You go here to this chest. You can buy as many bank tabs as you want. It's just a chest, just like the one on your guild island, just like the one, in the main cities. It's a chest you can just store stuff in, and you can buy more infinite slots essentially, as long as you have the silver. The reason you want to gather in one of those zones, okay, there's a few reasons. Because once your inventory fills up with stuff, then you can go bank it without stopping your gathering. You can continue to gather endlessly. But that's another thing. You might be asking, what was SwoleBenji? How do I repair my gear? Eventually my gathering tool is going to break. What do I do? Now, here's the coolest thing about the recent update is the faction warfare system. Every single outpost, even if you aren't faction flagged, even if you are an enemy of the faction, has a little repair bench. You see it right here? Every single one of these has a little tier 8 repair station. 0% usage fee. You pay the regular repair fee amount, and you can just walk right up onto here and use this, and you can continue gathering back at 100% durability. You never, ever, ever have to go back to town, not once, until you want to sell or bank or refine or whatever. So let's say I'm a wood refiner, like I am legit a lumberjack. I'm a tier 8 lumberjack with extremely high specs, right? So I go here to Limhurst because that's where the most wood is, and I go right here to Hornbeam Wood, and I chop all the trees, and then I bank all the trees, and I chop all the trees, and bank all the trees, and chop all the trees, etc. You get the idea, right? And then whenever I really want to do some hardcore big Chad refining, then I unflag, I get naked, I go to Limhurst, I pull out a mammoth, I go to the chest, I load up the mammoth, and then I ride my butt over to Fort Sterling to refine it. And that is how you do optimal gathering, all right? So that's 5 tips. That is 5 tips on how to be better at gathering. And if you have any friends that gather, please tell them how this stuff works. Because when I started this game, all my friends, they were PvP chads. And they didn't know shit about gathering, so I had to learn all of this on my own, and it took months. No one told me. The wiki articles don't tell you. Maybe there's a few YouTubers that kind of covered it, but back then there really wasn't many YouTubers. Everyone's just doing dungeon diving and Zerg versus Zerg, and oh, I'm so manly, bro. Wow, like. Also, eat a pork pie. They give you 15% max gathering yield. So there you go. It's a gathering video. What do you want me to make next? Let me know in the comments. And also to the Twitch streamer that's calling me like bad, that I'm like a bad person. I'm not going to say what he said, but funny that you would tell people not to watch my content on your Twitch stream, but whenever you were looking at my YouTube page, it showed that you were subscribed. So, got 'em. Are you two-faced, or are you just trying to ride the Reddit soy boy freaking wave? I don't know. Either way, I caught you on the act, and no, I'm not any of those things that you claim I am. That's just Reddit propaganda. That's the stupid clans that are getting upset and butthurt at me. Look, I'm not those things that you claim that I am, but I do respect the freedom to be those things that you claim, okay? There's a difference. I respect the freedom to be that if one wants to be that, and they should not be beaten up in Hollywood Boulevard for their beliefs. There you go. That's the video. I'm SwoleBenji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole, and I will make sure you return your shopping carts. I mean, have you ever seen the Cartnark channel? All those lazy bones that don't return the shopping carts? Doesn't it just make you seethe with anger? How lazy they are and that they're dinging up people's cars? There's a reason I'll never, ever buy a new car besides the fact that I'm homeless and don't make any money. It's that, why would I buy a new car when people leave their carts out to ding, huh? Hopefully, I mean, in the future, you know, grocery stores, they're going to go away. They're going to go the way of Blockbuster. No one's going to be able to just walk into a store and buy groceries anymore. You're going to just order it online or something, or maybe you'll go to like a little kiosk, like those Redbox machines, if anyone ever used those. I don't even know if those still exist. Maybe they do, but they're gonna have grocery boxes, and you go and you order your produce or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's the video. That's the video. Yes, gathering video. It's done. It's over. Tell your friends. Share this video with any gathering bros that you may have. And if you see a gatherer out and about without gathering gear and they aren't faction flagged, then tell them about the video. Just show them the video. Thanks. Bye.